Hello, I'm Karen, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make these lovely little baskets. On these ones I've used the breast cancer awareness ribbon for handles, and if you make the same basket and just put one handle on, it'll make the nice little Easter basket. If you want to this is nice for the little tiny tots. If you want a bigger basket, you can make up the same basket using the chunky yarns, or you can use 2 strands of yarn crocheted together on a bigger hook. And just so that you can appreciate the size of this basket here, this bigger basket, I'm just going to measure across the bottom and show you. It's only 3 inches big across the bottom, so it's actually not a very large basket. But I've got these. This is a full packet. I haven't eaten any. I've been very good. I've got a full packet of the mini eggs. And if I pour them all in, that's how many eggs fills the basket. Okay, these baskets are lovely and strong. I've tested them out with lots of different things, including stones, just because I know what children are like, and I know that they like to, once you've finished doing the Easter egg hunt, then they can use them for all sorts of things, whether they want to put Lego in them or things like that. So I'm going to start off with the tiny baskets, just so that we can work on these, and then I'm going to actually do some more videos, and I'm going to introduce you into the bags rather than baskets. These are all nice and easy patterns to follow, but I will be showing you a stitch that we haven't done so far. So and I'm not entirely sure of what you want to call the stitch. I like to say it's still a single crochet at the end of the day, but some people like to call it a long single crochet. So it's not hard to do, so bear with me. And these ones are made, if you've watched my Converse slippers videos, I've actually added an extra base on the bottom, just to give that extra security and strength. Okay, so we're going to begin. I'm just using this is just some of my yarn from my stash. It is actually a double knit yarn, and I do know that I have read my comments, and there is some issues over the yarns because of whichever country that you're in. So this one is actually in England we would say it's a double knit yarn, and I know I've looked at the charts and they say, oh, you've got 8 ply, 4 ply. Now this is actually made of 3 strands of yarn twisted together, and I have some other yarns that are still made with 3 strands of yarns twisted together, but they're not as thick as this one, and I've got other ones that are thick. So this is one of those patterns, it really doesn't matter what size yarn you use, really. The thinner the yarn, the smaller the basket. The thicker the yarn, the bigger the basket. And when you're going up into this basket, where I've used the chunky yarns, or you want to use 2 strands of yarn together, I would suggest that you do use the 6.5mm hook, just because it's bigger. But for this video, I'm going to do the little ones, and I'm using my 4mm hook. And like I said, this is just I think this is called raspberry actually. It's an old yarn that I fell in love with a long time ago, and I haven't been able to get it for a while, but it's a nice yarn to use with the light that we've got today, because it's actually sunny today in England. So what we're going to do with this one, I'm going to start off with the magic circle. So I'm going to put my hook under, catch hold of my yarn, pull it through, and then get the main yarn that I'm using and just do 1 chain, just so that I've got my circle. And into this circle I'm going to do 6 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then I'm going to use the tail, pull this loop together, and then slip stitch together to make a circle. You can go there underneath 2 strands of the yarn. Oh, I've done that a tight stitch, and slip stitch. I have done that tight. Slip stitch together to make the beginning circle. Now we're going to chain 1, and then I'm going to work 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So we've got 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Oh dear. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into the beginning single crochet to join. So that's, then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 1 stitch, so 1 single crochet in that one and 2 in the next, and go 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around. And this is going to make it so that we've actually got 18 stitches. So I'll count my 18 stitches so I know where I am. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then we'll slip stitch into the beginning single crochet to join. So we've got 18 in our circle. Chain 1, and on this round it's going to go single crochet, and then 2 single crochet in the next one. So we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're going to end up with a total of 24 stitches. So I will count to my 24 stitches so I know where I am. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 2 in the last one makes 24. And then we're going to slip stitch into the beginning single crochet to join. And there we go, that is the base of our basket, and this is what you'll need to repeat that bit when you add the second one. But for now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, and then I'm going to work into the back loops, but I'm going to, in that same stitch where I've actually slip stitched together, I'm going to work into that stitch there, and I'm just going in the back loop. I'm just going to do a single crochet into there, and we're working the back loops all the way around, so we want a total of 24. So that one's 1, and just so that we're clear, when you've got these 2 loops on your on each stitch, the one that's towards you is the front, and the one that's away from you is the back stitch. Okay, So this one is number 2. I'm just going underneath the one strand, yeah? That one's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. I'm having problems with my yarn following me again. I keep trying different ways to try and make this bit easier, but I still haven't seemed to manage that. And now we're just going to slip stitch to join into the first single crochet. And you'll have something that looks like that. So you've got, if I show you closely, you've got the circle there, and you've got this, now you've got a little line that goes all the way around. And those stitches that are left behind, they're the front stitches, and then that's going to help this. Now on this one, so it comes up, this is that's going to help that pattern to form. Now this is where I'm trying to make this be as easy as possible, because on this one you are going to end up with a join, and it's going to be a noticeable join at the back, which looks like you've stitched. If I show you on this one, just move the egg out of the way, you can see we've got a join that goes all the way up there. You can actually make this without that join, but it is actually a lot harder to do. So, and I know a lot of you have been coming and watching, you're actually beginners or very early in your crocheting stages, and so I'd much prefer to make it be as easy as possible to start off with, and then you can always improve your skills. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to untangle my yarn so that I can continue, because they've got all tangled up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, normally you would work underneath underneath the tops of your next there to make your next row, but we're not on this one. We're actually going to now work into this same space that we've already worked, and we're going to single crochet over the actual stitches. So we're going to do a chain 1, and then instead of going into the next stitch along, we're going to go into the stitch right next to this where these lines are, and just do a single crochet, which is single crocheting over the last row. So I like to say I'm doing a single crochet over, but some people, I do believe, call that a long single crochet. So that's 2. You can see I'm going into this place here and single crocheting over the last row, so we'll still end up, that's number 3, with 24 stitches. So that's number 3, this is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh dear, I'm sorry, I really have got myself tangled up. I was on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where have I gone? Right, go back to the beginning point there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on stitch number 10. I don't know whether I'm coming to go in 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. And then we're going to slip stitch back into the top of the first single crochet to join. And this is a disaster. This is a complete and utter disaster of tangled up yarn. I don't know how I manage it. It was a bit like when I was trying to I've got one of those twirly washing lines, and over this winter I knew that it got to the stage where it needed to be rethreaded, and I went out and I bought myself 60 meters of line to be able to rethread my washing line. I watched how to do it on YouTube. It took him 15 minutes. It took me 2 hours. I just get everything tangled up. Right, so anyway, sorry. So now you can see we've actually got the single crocheting over the last lot of single crocheting, and this is creating a lot stronger stitch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to now chain 1, and we need to single crochet in the same space, otherwise we're going to lose the 24 stitches. Okay, so we're going to single crochet into the same space there, and we're going to single crochet, so that's 1, and we're going to go all the way around just in the tops of the stitches this time. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. Now it does look like you've got another stitch there. That's where we did this slip stitch together, and this is what I was on about with this. It's a strange looking join, but it's kind of nice. My sister said it looked really nice. So and it's just easier. It's easier to keep your levels the same way this way around. In the next video, when I show you how to do the bag, I will show you a slightly different way. So now we're going to chain 1, and we need to single crochet over. Now because we actually do have this line that's come across where we did our last slip stitch together there and our chain 1, we can actually see where we need to go. So we're actually going to go over this stitch and going to go into this hole here. I hope I'm making sense. So we're going into there, and we're going to single crochet over everything that we've just made. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh dear me, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh dear, what am I like? Oh, I hope you don't have these problems. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. Now you've got to remember that every time you do this single crochet over, you're going to end up with it. Well, it does look like it's another stitch to work there. You really don't want to work in that, because all it's going to do is keep increasing by one stitch, and then you'll end up with a wonky basket. So we need to slip stitch right over there into that space, and you can see we're forming this little ridges. Okay, so we'll just do this again, chain 1. And now we need to work into the same space there, and then single crochet all the way round. I did try not single crocheting in the same space and trying to use that end bit there, but then it just made it really confusing of where you should begin and where you shouldn't begin. So the reason why it's looking this way is just I've done it so it's as easy as possible, so that all of those people that are in the early stages and beginning their crochet will actually be able to make this basket. And once you realise what you're doing, they do actually work up quite quickly. But obviously I've got tangled up yarn, and it's taken me a lot longer to do than I anticipated, and I haven't got an awful lot of time to be able to make any videos, because I'm expecting special parcels to be delivered today. I know that Easter is on its way, and I know that it's lovely to do with the little ones. We're doing the Easter egg hunts and everything else, but as your children get bigger, and mine are teenagers getting ready to leave school, the Easter egg hunt just isn't the same anymore. So I've ordered them something different for an Easter present this year. So I'm just going to come up to here, and now I know I've been talking to you, but I do know that that one is the right stitch to use. And then I'm going to, it looks like, say I've got one stitch left over, and we slip stitch into there. Okay, then we're back into that same space, and we've got this little ridging. I don't know what it just looks like you've made the basket as a flat thing and then whip stitch together. So chain 1 and single crochet over the last row, and this is going to make it, this is what makes it really, really strong. And oh my days, this is getting worse. I know, this is a disaster. It's not, it is, it's actually knotted. Oh dear. I'm not sure actually whether I should actually just start all again with this video, and I seem to have managed to make this so complicated that it's unreal. But after all my planning and all of my sitting working out, all my pattern writing and everything else, something as simple as the yarn tangling itself up, which, oh, you have to be so patient and careful with all the, when this happens, because if you pull it too tight, you just got to just cut it off and throw it away, and just throw your project away and give in, because it's unreal. Right, nearly there, look. I should have a video how to untangle knots of yarn. Look at that, look, ta-da! Oh, I am impressed. So anyway, back to doing the single crochet over. I'm saying I don't know if this video is really confusing because of all of my tangles up, so yeah, I might end up having just to give in and start all over again. But I'll play it back and I'll have a look and I'll see, and then we'll never know. It might be a case of I say, do you know what, I'm going to let this one go, and you can see how disastrous my video is turning out. I say, once you know what you're doing, look, you're just single crocheting over the actual stitches. It does feel different in your hands while you're working with it. So to start off with, you may find it feels unusual and strange because you're actually making something thicker and different. But because I've actually crocheted these over and over and over again, and also been making some lovely little bags, I kind of got used to it. So, but I can remember thinking at the time, it's like, oh, it feels strange as an actual stitch. So there we go. Look, we're all the way back round to the beginning. And remember that what looks like a stitch there, we're ignoring that. That's our slip stitching and chaining area. And we slip stitch together again to make ourselves another one. So now I've got 3 rows. I actually do 5 rows on these little baskets that I've already made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop this video. I'm just going to single crochet in the same space. I'm going to stop my video and leave you to make the last 2 rounds yourself, and I think I might have to do a little bit of editing. I hope that's something that I'm really not good at, is doing the editing things, but I don't know. We'll see how this one turns out, and say if it's a complete disaster, then it's just delete and start again. Okay, so I'm going to love you and leave you, and when you get to the very top of your basket and you've got your 5 rows, all you're going to do is you're just going to fasten off like you would normally and just sew in your loose ends, and then I will then show you in the next part of the video. I don't know whether to link them together. Because it's like now, looking at this, I've been doing this for 27 minutes and thinking, would it be better if I joined the videos together and showed you how to do the handles in one video, so everything's all together? That's it, I'm having a coughing fit as well now. Or whether would it be better if I do 2 separate videos like I normally do my separate videos and put them in a little playlist. I'm really not sure. I think I may be losing the plot, but there you go. Slip stitch together to join, and then I'm going to be chaining 1, and I'm going to single crochet over that the last round. So this is making my basket really nice and strong. I could actually keep on going, couldn't I? Just keep on going and just do it all in one go. That's something that I've not done before. I don't know how long my recordings can go on. Oh no, and I've got another knot now. This is just, honestly, I'm just losing the will to live. No, I'm not really. I'm only joking. No, and crochet is supposed to be relaxing and therapeutic, and quite clearly today it is an annoying knot, tangled up yarn, maybe a crazy video that's actually not even going to be worthy of being used, and I've confused everybody so that they're actually not really sure what they're doing. So I don't know. But I'm going to carry on. I'm keeping going. Keep on going, girl. You can do it. there, because where am I? I've got 1, 2, 3. See, even this is going to be the 4th row, but I've actually done, it takes 8 rows to make 4 rows because you're single crocheting over a row all the time. But once you get the hang of this, oh, I've got to split in my yarn there. Once you get the hang of this and learn about making this, it's a much thicker fabric, and it's really, really nice and strong, and you can do all sorts with it. So there we go. Look, I've only got 1 more round. Well, I haven't. I've got 2 more rounds to go, but I'm right near the end of that bit, so I'm going to keep on going, because then you can actually genuinely see how long it really does take to make one of these baskets. Oh, I'm crocheting my ending there. Don't want to crochet the ending, that's not good. Not at this late stage. So right on the very, this is my second to last time of going round, and it's surprisingly quick to make these up. So once you get going and you know what you're doing and you haven't got tangled yarn, so and it seems such a shame to like stop this basket and not complete it, so I'm going to keep on going and say if I think it's best I might do some editing and cut it out and see. I don't know, because then like, what about the talking? What if I like cut through halfway through a word? That wouldn't be a very good thing, would it? Imagine it. Right, so I'm going to slip stitch into the beginning single crochet to join. Just there, chain 1 and single crochet over. So I'm sure that it's classed as being a long single crochet, because but it's that's where it can be confusing, because I suppose you could actually come all the way right down to a different, to even lower rows. So if you do come across a long single crochet, you've got to check, are they single crocheting over 1 row, or are they single crocheting over 2 rows, or even maybe 3. But then I'm sure when they start going like down over like 3 rows or something, it's called a spike stitch. So I'm really not sure. Now I've run out of yarn altogether, and my ball my ball was in a bowl to try and stop it from being a dancing ball, and it's still not worked. So if anybody's got any tips how to stop it from getting tangled up when see, because it's my ball of yarn, I'm working from the outside of it because I couldn't get it to pull from the centre of the ball properly, so I'm working from the outside and it's rolling around everywhere. But here we go, right near the end of this last row, and 1 more stitch into there and slip stitch to join in the first single crochet, and we'll cut that off. I always like to leave myself a nice tail end so that I can sew it in neatly, and we're just going to put my hook through and catch hold of this one, there we go, and pull that through, and there, that's made the actual base of the basket, the main body. So there we go. Where's my needle? We want a wide-eyed darning needle, and in this one it's really easy to sew away your tail end because everything is doubled up. It's really easy just to work your way through and just work it into there. Oops. Like that, and then come back upon myself just so that it's less likely to come undone, and then cut that off there. Pull that off. Get this tail end and thread my needle again, and I'm just going to pull this nice and tight, and I'm just going to go back into there. Just a couple of stitches just to make sure that that's it's nice and safe. It is actually going to have a double base on it, so I don't need to be too worried. And there we go. I know it's not, I don't know, at this stage it never seems to be, I know it is round, don't get me wrong, and it is nice and level. You know, if you look, because when you're working, if you just keep going round and round and round in a circle, you end up like one row higher up and you end up with a little step down. But that's the join. I don't think it's a bad join. It's quite nice and neat. So there we have it. That's the beginning of that basket. And I'm going to stop this video. I think I'm going to have to redo it. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing. Bye for now.